This is why like stuff like this is cool, because you guys challenge me and I challenge you and stuff. Honestly, like, if you cultivate the risk taking, take risks, which you guys already are, I mean, but take more risks.
In what
and
sense of your risks?
like start your own thing, start your own business, and actually like ask for money. You know, start learning.
Come up with a plan and see this is the problem. Like show them the future of what you see, and then just put the ball in their court. Like, am I full of shit? Like tell me what everything I see. If you don't like the plan, tell me it's not wrong. Why I'm wrong. Yeah, but if we're just sitting here like, fuck, I'm not trying. Honestly, I was trying to think of something to ask you, like as a 30-plus-year-old man, and like, is it good or bad to ask for money from your parents or grandparents, or is it better to just because you know what I mean? Because like isn't there a fine line of like, oh, I don't want to go back to my parents and I'm not speaking to me personally, but I am and I'm not. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes, like, you can go, you have a aunt or uncle, and you're like, fuck, like I don't want to ask them.
It depends.
Okay.
So, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with the money? If you don't know.
You gotta have a plan. You're right, you gotta have a plan.
Yeah. Like, what, like, this is where, like, a lot of people, like.
Are you asking me personally what I have?
Personally, like, what are you going to do with it?
I would.
If it's just to live off of?
No. It'd be strictly like I'm gonna buy a business for $100 for LLC, put my name on there, and we're gonna see it work. I'm talking with some high level people.
You know. Okay.
And then they're like, all right, it's not a shit show. Oh, you wanna go back to college? Like, no, I don't want to. You know.
Yeah.
And then I mean, we go other.
So, asking. One, how much money do you need to start a business?
$50.
Zero. You don't even need $50. Okay? Literally. There's something that you have right now that's valuable. I don't know what it is. We have to figure out what it is. I can't figure that out for you. I made, like, for example, this is obviously down the road because I learned how to do some of this stuff, but I made like $60,000 in a weekend with nothing, literally nothing. Okay, but I had all of, like, my network that I was able to utilize. But I sold a course, which I think I mentioned. It was called Dream Dropshipping. It's still up there. Dream Dropshipping, where I taught people how to dropship on Amazon for like $497. I did not for $497. I had nothing built, zero. I had connections with somebody who had an email list of Amazon people or entrepreneur types, and I said, hey, I have this thing, this course on how to dropship on Amazon. Can I use your list? And he's like, yeah. And I did a little like webinar thing, and over like a period of 3 days, $67,000. And I'm like, I guess I'm making this thing. And so I invited them to, every week we created the course. Every week they came onto a webinar, I taught a specific thing, and then they asked questions, and I was like, okay, that's good. It's good. Those are good videos I can make for the module because those are good questions. And so then I made videos for the module for that week, and then I just did it again and again and again. It took for like 5 weeks. And then from there, now I had a course totally made, paid for. I pocketed essentially like $40,000 because I gave the other guy a cut. And then sold that every month, just over and over and over again as a course. And I didn't even have to do anything after that.
Just based off the information you already knew.
Just based off the information I already knew. Now, obviously, are you gonna do that right away? No, but you can clean cars. You can, like Servando does detailing. You can garden, like in the sense of like, oh, I'll come to your place and harvest your stuff for you. And if you just give me like, if it's like watermelons, give me like a cup, like a box full of watermelons. I'll do the rest for you, and that's it. You don't even have to pay me. And then you go on the corner selling watermelons, because watermelons are freaking expensive now, right?
Water.
Dude,
Right now is
dude,
taking
like,
watermelons.
go to the store and watermelons are freaking expensive. Do it on the corner, sell it for half, and you just literally made money selling watermelons.
Yeah.
Like it's not hard. It just takes balls to do it, and it's not going to be pretty in the beginning. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna end up figuring things, but you're gonna figure it out. So, but yeah, you don't need any money to start something. I mean, you saw when Angel came by, and I literally made a business deal like that. We'll take pictures of the kids when they're doing belts or whatever. The drone thing. It doesn't even have to be drones. It could be, we'll take pictures of the kids when they're doing their belts. We'll make it look really nice and give it to the parents. The parents love stuff like that. I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't for me. Like, I don't need pictures of myself, except for this. That's kind of ironic. Anyway, but for kids who went from white to, it's like, what's the next one, like yellow or something like that, or stripe or gray, that's huge for the parents.
It's bigger than a touchdown.
Bigger than a touchdown. They'll pay. Here's your highlight reel. Here's just the picture of their gauntlet roll that they did to get their belt.
Yeah.
You know, the full on, like, just however you can make it. They'll pay $25, $30. Yep, you can upsell them with the digital version and all this other stuff.
You just have to know we're serious, man. Right?
You just have to do it, and you have to literally. This is where you don't like. This is where you have to do shit. You have to just do it. I literally mean, if you take your iPhone and you go out onto the mat and you're just literally doing this, no permission whatsoever.
Okay.
And then afterward, you say, "Hey, Angel, here's a video of each person, all the kids that did it. Check this out. This is what I did." You do it in iMovie or something like that, and you send it to. You say, "Hey, I have like videos of all of them. Can I? Would it be cool if you could you? I'll give you a cut, but can you tell parents that I have this, and we can give them." We can give them this, and this if they once they purchase. Say they purchase a $50 package, and that comes with a few pictures and even like a stretched out, what's that called, canvas plus the digital version. Once they buy, then you actually figure out how the hell I'm gonna just fulfill on that stuff, and then he gets a cut, you get your cut. Like, these are things that men used to know how to do. Like, just do it. Like did you call up and ask if we could do this here? Did you call up and ask Wahoos if we could film here?
I did.
Well, because you know them. You knew that. You would have gone anyway. Did you, when we were at Cup of Joy, did you do that? Did you call him up?
No.
When we were at Blast and Brew, did you call him up?
No.
No. You just did. And it ended up being freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
I only called this place just because I know they could hook us up.
Yeah, see?
Not because I needed permission.
And this is where you just have to do stuff.
Yeah.
You take the risk.
You're throwing off
The
nature,
worst
too.
that can happen.
Everyone's like, by the rules. Like, yep, guess what? We're gonna sit over here.
Totally.
What do you have on the menu? I want an eggnog. I don't
Yep.
know, talk to your owner about it. And I'm
Yep.
like, oh.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, fuck it. Like, it's good for everyone.
Yep.
People are tired of boring. Yeah, you gotta stir shit up. Because everything's being automated and then
Yeah.
condensed into.
So if you want to be financially free, you just need to start or something. You have to figure that out and just start. Like, if you came to me and you were like, "Gene, I know I'm not one of your sales guys, but I got 3 people who are interested. If I close them, will you give me a cut and we can talk about what it is?" And you actually close them and said they're ready and you send them to me, and then we figured out what the cut is, I'd be like, you had me at hello. Here's your money.
Alright.
That's it. Like, literally, that's it. But if you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to my cousin, I'm gonna get a $500 loan from my cousin, I'm gonna use that to incorporate. And then when I incorporate, then I'm going to write up a business plan, and I'm gonna go to Dean, and I'm gonna say, okay, here's how it is in the Philippines, here's how it is here, here's how it is in South America. I'm gonna give that to him, and then I'm gonna schedule a meeting with him, and we're gonna, at the meeting, I'll buy dinner, so I'm gonna need to get another loan from my grandma for $100. I'll buy dinner, and then I'll ask, like literally, it sounds retarded, right? But we do that. Why do you think we do that?
Fear.
Fear, every single time. When you can just literally go to somebody that you know that has a business or whatever, and say, hey, I know this guy named Dean. He has like these guys that are overseas that are amazing. They're like half the cost of all these other employees, and they do twice as much work, if not more. Like, would you ever consider something like that? And the guy's like, oh yeah. He's like, cool. Here's the details of it. If I schedule a meeting with him, like, would you be open to that next week? Yeah. Boom, meeting happens. Boom, boom, close. Cash money. Boom. There. That's it. Any of these any business owner, if you did that for art, if you were like closing things for art without his permission, are you gonna art, or will you be sad if? Yeah, condemn, exactly. You're like, how dare you make me money?
That's real, man. It's like, because we're working with people that we love and know, so it's like, maybe that's also what's been changing people's mindsets now, man. It's like when you start working you have to sell yourself, right? Like, me, I was like, oh, here's your resume. Then you have an interview. You have to sell yourself in an interview. And at that point, you're like, I have to be this person. I think that's how we become slaves to like.
Yeah, you have to do things the perfect way or the right way or whatever. It's not like, life is not like that. Like, I started a business called With My Coffee. It makes a couple $1,000s a month for me, which is good. It's a virtual art director. It's all designers, like overseas designers. I started that business because one of my clients is a designer. Yeah, Art actually gets to see how one of my designers works, the VADs work. How I started that business was literally my client. I knew designers would be good, and my client was a good design agency, and I just said, hey, if I give you a cut and had you do a sales call and just sell it as like these art, I call them virtual art directors, would you be open to that? And he's like, yeah. So I found a client that needed designers, and I'm like, I'm not doing it because I can't speak design language. Mm-hmm. I connected the two. He sold the guy, who now has like 4 of them. He sold the guy, and I did literally nothing. My guys did all the recruiting and everything like that. Obviously, you're not gonna have that. But I have a whole business just from creating something out of nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't know, no agreements, no nothing, it was literally handshake. And then as it gets serious, then you solidify all the rest,
It's like making songs that make sense.
Yes, I read this thing that people were, in the book they're talking about that, because there was another guy who said he makes money selling or going to homes, and like, hey, you're going to sell your house, and just contract and sells the contract.
Yep.
Didn't put any money into it.
Didn't put any, exactly. Little middleman, wholesaler.
The whole referral thing.
Like,
Yep.
How does that, but I want to look into it more, but like, for me, it's just like I'm worried, it's like, how does that work? 'Cause it's
You
like,
figure it out how it works.
Yeah.
Like you call the We Buy Houses signs on there. Call them and just be like, hey, I'm a sales guy. I want to get more of these houses for you. Like, if I got you 2 or 3 houses a month, like, what would my commission be? That's it.
God.
And then they're like, oh, it'd be X amount, and be like, okay, cool. So what are you looking for? Like exactly, what kind of houses? Distressed houses? What do they have to be? Do they for sale by owner? Like what? And then just start asking questions. If you came, like I said, if you came to me and you were like, help me sell for you, help me make money for you, I would not be like, dude, no, you need to have a bachelor's degree, you need to know how to grow plants, you need to have a LLC, a contract, all these different things, a cover letter, tell me about, let me give some references and stuff. I'd be like, dude, this is what you do. If you make your first sale, we'll talk about something more serious too. That's it. This is where it's like you take risks and see far. Take risks, see far. Take risks, see far.
Do you have specific companies that you're trying to target that need the services you provide?
Mm-hmm.
On the company that you started, you want them to have an automated systems where they don't have to deal with the regular shit. Like, oh, this order came in, and you already have everything placed in line. Like you're giving them a machine that works.
It's a person. So they have a person overseas who could do like half of these.
They run the business for them.
Essentially, like half of these industrial centers where they have like a lot of admin people or whatever, like office admins and stuff like that, where they're just doing administrative stuff. They're paying that person $20 an hour, $25 an hour, plus benefits and everything like that. So they're really like $30 an hour. My guys are $9.90 per hour, and they'll do twice the work as that person. And they'll document everything that they're doing into like a step-by-step thing.
You oversee the work too.
I oversee all the work.
Because they come with a complaint, you complain. Like, all right.
Yep.
Is there limits to what posting can do?
The only thing is they can't be done in person because they're overseas, and they're not going to be strategists in the sense of your business. They're not going to be able to tell you how to run your business. So that's it. So it's pretty much no limits. But yeah, if you go and watch the ProSaloon video, you'll immediately know. Like if you go to prosaloon.com and watch that video, you'll know exactly who the target is and what they do. And
you're so 100% behind your product and what you're doing. It's like, do you guarantee?
Yeah, it's money back guarantee for 30 days.
And like, have you been that successful? Like, every time?
Pretty much every time. Sometimes I give a 30-day money back. Their money back. I mean, it's probably 1 out of 100. Maybe one out of like 60. But it's not.
That could be just based off their own business model. Like, hey man,
sometimes they're just not a good fit, or they're assholes. And they treat their people like crap, and there's a reason why they have high turnover and stuff. Just they're not good people. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But most people are not that way that come in, and so I make money even with that guarantee. A lot of people have objections no matter what, and so you just you handle those objections. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like it's not more like. Is there anything that prevents you from like working with using a program with the government? Is that different?
Probably. Just export control is rough because foreign workers. So there's stuff I could do, but generally that would be a big problem. I used to work in government agency type stuff, and yeah, it's possible. I mean, they dealings with Microsoft and stuff, and Microsoft has tons of foreign people. So it's just really setting myself up for that. But
you guys deal with confidential information too?
Yeah, basically.
Medical information, things like that.
Can do HIPAA stuff, yep.
Yeah.
I prefer not to because it's a pain in the ass, but it's all good. And they do have virtual assistant companies like that specialize in that. So I usually just refer that because it can be a pretty big headache.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised because a lot of the work that I used to do, a lot of this stuff can be done by virtual assistant.
Nearly everything now can. And that's where, yeah, it's just a matter of like getting in front of people. Just get in front of people.
Do you approach businesses about this? Do you ever talk about like price with them initially?
Yeah. Not initially. Well, it depends. It depends on who it is. A lot of business owners, I don't, because most people, myself included, when something's cheap or cheap in price, you think it's going to be cheap in like actual service.
Yeah.
This is why even with him, when he was like lowballing me, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to work with you, you know? And so you have to have a good normal price. Because I'm thinking, like if you came to me and you said that you have a service that, and it's like half the cost of everyone else's, immediate thing that I'm gonna think of is, okay, that's cool, but I'm gonna get a crappy result. You're not gonna wanna edit my videos, or you're not gonna wanna do something that, because it's not worth your time, and you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna go find another client, and while you're finding other clients, you're gonna drop the ball on my project. This is why, even with, like if I see ads for like one-time pay software, like maybe it's a video editor or something like that, and it's all like one time, $37, I won't buy it. Because I've been burned too many times by, they get their quick fix on getting cash, and then eventually their software dies off because they don't have a recurring revenue model. And so it's the same type of thing. If I just say, hey, it's half the cost of somebody here in the States, they're gonna be like, oh, let's probably half the work too, or half the quality. So I start off with like what they deliver first, and like the why, and then go into the cost. You know, you're getting someone who should be $50 an hour, but we're giving them to you for $9 because it's economic. That's the way the economy works or whatever. So then they're like, oh wow, holy crap, that's amazing. So
it's posting them like when I was envisioning it, like watching the video afterwards, it's like you know those little chat bubbles that pop up on websites, is it like that? Where you're like talking to someone like right
it's like
website?
it's like me emailing you or going on Zoom or however I want to communicate with you. You're my worker. Gabe, my sales guy or whatever, hey, are you able to handle 3 calls this week? Here are the dates. Oh yeah. That's it.
Oh.
It's an actual person. It's just like Derek or you or whatever, but they're just far away. And they do stuff for you. Whatever it is that you want them to do.
It's real-time chat, huh?
It could be on Slack. It could be, no, it's not a bot.
Why foreign?
Huh?
Why foreign?
Because they cost, for what it costs to have somebody who's like a middle manager or senior level manager over there, it costs me like half the cost of minimum wage here in the States, if not less. But they still get middle management wages there. They're able to support their family and usually like 2 or 3 other families,
So it's
like extended family.
That's amazing. So it's like middle management wage for them, but like different story here.
Yep, because of what's called economic arbitrage. The dollar is much more valuable than the Philippine peso or whatever it might be, the Turkish lira, Estonian, whatever, you know. So if I go to Turkey right now and I use the dollar, even though I can, because their currency inflated so much, I can buy this meal for like 80 cents. This exact same meal for 80 cents when here it costs like $15 or whatever. That's not because I'm cheating them, because for them they have the same livelihood and so on and so forth, just because the dollar's stronger as a currency than the lira is. So Same thing goes with my guys. Like, I give them an amazing life, way better than a lot of these other companies do. And I get to also bless businesses here. So